One thing I've noticed after evaluating the different weeks that I've had this year is that while some of the weeks I feel like I have a really productive week or a really busy week or a good week, I actually do not end up achieving the goals that I set out to achieve at the beginning of the week. And that discrepancy is a major reason why I am not achieving my goals more broadly, is because while I push towards things that I need to do, I don't think I actually end up prioritizing the highest leverage thing that I need to do in order to succeed more broadly on the macro level. And so this week, while I am doing my new challenge of recording in the morning, I think it would be also pretty pertinent or pretty relevant to try to state what the goal of that day is in as much detail as I can. Some of the things that I'm doing, I actually can't talk about publicly, but I will find ways to talk about the thing that I need to do that day publicly so that I can have a record of how successful I was. I think that this way I will be able to compound the effectiveness of the challenge that I'm trying to do this week, which is more about radical transparency around what it is that radical transparency around the success of my stated goals. And that transparency, I think, will be really good for myself because I can go back and really try and understand what has happened. But I also think it might be interesting to watch as I try to bring you guys along on a week of stating my goals, trying to execute on my goals, and then evaluating why the day before went well and why it didn't go well. And you'll sort of get a live look into all of the weaknesses and flaws of how I work and how I try and problem solve that. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to forgive myself for photo booth videos next week, because what is more important to me is the capturing of when I am doing it and what I am saying. And the shooting on the big camera is not really that important, especially given I will be shooting on the big camera as part of my stated goals for the day. And so I don't necessarily feel like that is as important as this week of transparency. So I'm excited. It's 9 p.m. I'm going to try and go to sleep. Hopefully that will give me an early start tomorrow. Obviously I don't use alarms, so that's going to be part of it. Maybe I'll try and experiment with an alarm. But let's go.